In a little corner of Louisiana, the river runs wild, untamed by man's flood walls. A couple hours drive from New Orleans, the Mississippi has built a healthy swamp loaded with surprises. It's home to the largest living thing east of California. There you will find the king of the swamp.
Some parts of the island are higher than others.
On a crisp February morning, we step back in time to a place that looks much as it did before Columbus. Outside St. Francisville, the 30,000-acre Cat Island National Wildlife Refuge.
Nature at its best.
Without levees.
Without levees. No levees.
No floodgate, no artificial spillway. Absolutely nothing to hold back the river.
This is a large peninsula. You can see the Mississippi River takes a large bend around a floodplain of the Mississippi.
Richard Martin of the Nature Conservancy points out Cat Island is the only place in Louisiana where the Mississippi behaves as nature intended. Before man engineered the river in reaction to the infamous 1927 flood.
The Mississippi River in the area around Baton Rouge extended almost unbroken from Baton Rouge to Lafayette.
We're here in kind of the high and dry sort of time, but
right.
this place changes and soon,
it floods, yeah, this will be all underwater.
You come out here in late afternoon, early morning, you get a lot of good shadows on the tree.
Nature enthusiasts like Pat Walsh and Cathy Smith see in this place a treasure. Unlike so much of the Louisiana landscape, scarred by dying or dead cypress.
There's a lot of big trees like that, if you notice this one right here.
But here lives the undisputed icon of Cat Island.
And is also considered the largest living thing east of the Sierra Nevada mountains.
The refuge is home to the national champion bald cypress tree. This thing is big. From a distance, there are a couple of things you don't even notice, like the almost 6-foot cypress knee. They measure these officially from 4 feet up. So from 4 feet up across, it's 18 feet wide or 53 feet around. It's the king of the swamp.
Certainly it's over 500 years old, probably over 1,000 years old.
It's impossible to know the age of cypress trees this old because they're almost all hollow. Ironically, that probably spared the tree from loggers.
You can see some of the ones that have been topped off that you can actually see through the trunk of it all the way up to the sky, and it wasn't really any use to the loggers.
Well, certainly the first, 700, 800, 900 years of its life, it didn't have to worry about anything.
It wasn't as if no one ever tried to levee the area. Nearby plantation owners had designs on Cat Island for expansion as far back as 1850.
They got together with the federal government and got some funding, and they built a levee here.
The first federal levee was also the site of the first federal levee failure.
After the first year, the waters came up and the river blew out those levees.
So often we see water as a destroyer. Martin would like to harness the river's power to build, picking strategic spots for diversions, quenching the marsh and cypress swamps that now starve for fresh water.
Yeah, let me shoot the tree with this one.
Spread throughout the refuge are literally thousands of trees, at least 6 feet in diameter.
If, for some unfortunate reason, lightning or insect damage would cause this tree to decline and eventually die, we are certain that there are others that would take its place.
If only man can preserve this place for another couple hundred years.
Undoubtedly, there would be another big one here that would be just as large.
There are some that rival it right now, and the thing about cypress knees that I learned about this is that cypress knees apparently will come up like the flood. So as tall as that 6-foot cypress tree was, in the Cat Island National Wildlife Refuge, they have cypress knees, not trees, knees that are 10 feet or so high.
Oh my goodness.
It's a crazy place.
When you stood next to that tree, it was just unbelievable.
Well, and here's the thing, when we were back on the boardwalk, I didn't notice the 6-foot tall cypress knee till we got up there and said, oh, look at this thing. It's big.
That thing is, it's almost unbelievable.
It
so you
is,
see it.
you
have
that.
to see
yeah,
it.
There you go. Tourist.